Hello, good morning. This is Lisa crafting from my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a craft that you probably can use supplies that you already have at home, but we're going to look at what I have made using a few of the supplies at home, but also a few purchased supplies. We're going to be making this adorable shaker snowman today, and there are different variations of this. You could actually Google it to try to find out what you would like to do with it. But I'm going to give you a list of supplies, and we're going to get into constructing a second one. But these are our shaker snowman. Let's look at the essential supplies that we're going to need for this. We're going to need a shaker. Now, I purchased these at Goodwill. I probably already have some here at home, but I'm using those. So I purchased this at Goodwill. You could get these at the Dollar Tree. They will come in your kit. Kits are first come, first serve. So if you're interested in those, please be sure and pick those up. You're also going to need something for the head. I have used a ping pong ball. I have seen some that have been made out of cotton balls, but I found that the cotton ball weighed heavy on the head, and therefore you didn't really get to see the face that much. It kind of squished it down. Other things that you're going to need, I used E6000. You probably, and this is a glue, you probably could use a glue gun on this, but I did not want my parts to fall apart easily, and so I used the E6000. You're also going to need something to make the eyes out of. Now, you can make them out of markers, and I also have an orange one here so that you could do your nose. I put buttons up the front, just miscellaneous. You'll notice these are mismatched buttons. You need eyes. You could use, I have these, although I did not use them. These are just little pom-poms, little tiny miniature black pom-poms. You could use those for the eyes as well. You could use black sequin, just one sequin. That would make a great looking eye as well. And then the one that I have chosen, which I thought was the easiest, is I had two pins that had the black heads on them to resemble the coal eyes of a snowman, and so we're going to use those today. I think that's going to be the easiest for us. Now, in order to get the glitter effect, if you choose to do that, you're also going to need some of the white glitter, and you'll need some Mod Podge and a brush. And you may need your scissors because you're going to be cutting a little bit of a scarf from the fabric of your choice. And then I chose on the inside, and you don't have to put anything on the inside of your snowman, but I chose this faux snow. I thought that would look really cute on the inside of there as well. So that's our essential and non-essential supplies, because some of these things you could easily do without. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the process for making our shaker snowman. So the first thing I did was decide how I was going to decorate the face. I like this somewhat glittered snow effect here. So what I did, and I did this last night because it did take some time for it to dry and it was messy, and I didn't want to have to do that process on our craft show today. But all I did was put a little bit of our Mod Podge out into a paper plate. I used a brush, and I simply brushed on small sections and this rolled it around in my glitter. I let that dry a little bit. I'd go to another section and I would dip that down into my glitter, and eventually I ended up with this ball of, this ping pong ball of glitter. You'll notice I've let that dry overnight so that these do not, this doesn't fall off or it doesn't smear while you're trying to work with it. So that's our face, and I'm going to go ahead. You can see where I've been holding it here and on here, and that's going to be going down on top of my shaker, so I'm not going to worry about those two bald spots I've got there. The first thing I'm going to do is determine where I want my eyes, and I'm not sure it matters on here, so I'm just going to stick my pen in And there's my eyes. Now, how do I get my nose? I took the end of well, you could do anything. You could draw it on, although it's going to be very difficult with the flakes on there. But if you chose to leave your ping pong ball just white and simple, then you could easily just draw that on with your marker. But what I've chose to do is to take the end of a toothpick, and I have colored it with my orange Sharpie or paint, either one. And then all I'm going to do is open up my E6000. I'm going to put a little bit on the end. And I need to try to locate the center. I'm going to hold it there for just a moment. And there you can see. Now, it is not completely dry, I know that. So I'm going to lay that down and show you this one real quick. Look how long the nose is. I didn't really realize how long it was until it was already on there. And so I made this one just a little bit shorter. Just a little bit shorter. I think that is going to hold in place while we finish the rest of this. I'm going to go ahead and finish off my bottle while this is, or excuse me, the shaker itself while this is drying. I think I'm going to put a couple of bows on the, or buttons on the front of this. So I'm going to use my E6000. I like the mismatched type of look. On the inside of this, I put the faux snow. Again, you do not have to do that. And again, while that's drying just a little bit more, I want to tell you about the scarf that I made. I used just a plaid woven fabric. It's the same on both sides, meaning that the color has been woven all the way through. It was not long enough, so simply what I did was I just glued it together here so that I had a longer scarf. Now, I tried going around once with the scarf, but it was not long enough. It really did give a great distance between the head and the body, and you could see it. So I really wanted to wrap that around there a couple of times. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to, once I've filled this, once I've got my buttons on, I'm going to take my E6000 and I'm going to run it around the rim of the, let me put this down. For some reason I'm shaking this morning. There we go. And at this point I'll determine whether I want it sitting on its side, how I want it sitting. So I'm going to leave that little guy just like that. Our next step is determine where we want our hat. I like it on the side like that. So again, I'm going to use some E6000 around the rim. You could use hot glue, as I mentioned. I just don't want this coming apart. There we go. And then all I'm simply going to do at this point is wrap twice. So I'm going to wrap them once, bring that down just a little bit, and wrap it twice. Now, I don't know that I have enough to actually tie the scarf off. I did not have enough with this one, so I just used my E6000 and kind of glued it down. I also frayed the edge of it so it does look like a little bit of a scarf. I've got to be gentle with this because we know that it's still kind of wet. You know, we just had a snow, and I feel like there'll be more in our future. So these are great. We could leave these out on a buffet in your kitchen. on a Lazy Susan. These would just be adorable winter decorations, not necessarily Christmas, but winter decorations. I've got a little bit of a fray there. Let me go ahead and get that cut off. There we go. And there is our little snowman. I think he turned out pretty cute. Again, think about what you have at home and how you could make it. I do want to add, just for the fun of it, a little bit of, let me cover up my glue. I'm taking a Q-tip and a little bit of this blush that's been used for crafting. And I'm going to put just a little bit on here. I don't want too much. And I don't even know if this will work entirely like I want it to, but I'm just a little bit on each side. And that gives just a little bit of a rosy look. And there we go. Let's put our two snowmen out here and let you look at those. Remember, there are kits available for this, but these little guys turned out adorable. And this is our shaker snowman. I hope you've enjoyed this craft. Think about doing this at home with the kids. Again, these are adorable, just sitting around when we still have a lot of winter left. Thank you for watching our video. I hope that you'll attempt to make this. If you do, please post it to our Facebook site. We would love to see what you've created. Thanks again, and keep crafting.